I'll take a spot of wine. No charge. You must be special, Cham, to give a freebie. Mine only half off. And then you pay the rest next morning, when you're sober. At least that's how you did it years ago. The years I last saw you, all dressed up. Best you stayed away from temptation. Alcohol is a demanding mistress. Ah, yes, it really is. Alcohol. There's another. So, how goes your research? Splendid. Turns out our hunch was right. It was even obvious to a very faithful woman's eyes. Perhaps some tea. Please, Cliff, let me know how well I did. You're against strict standards, but I'll be fair. The fair the other day was splendid, wasn't it? The tug of war. No, the great yanking. Really picked the worst I've seen out of towners. It reeked. Got tossed around real good. Curse and Roderick had a good old time of them. In a few wins. But Ruby, the look in her eyes when we all went to help her. And she led the last tug. I love the Hope Night ceremony. Brothers do a good job. Roderick really performs well. He was a grand performer. When we met him in the woods, he put us through quite a show. I wish to see him in one of his works. But now that will never come to pass. There are many he could have taken to the big city, Metropolis, the Red Star, but he loved Trinell more. He was always a good boy, Jagrin's best. He was raised well. Now Jagrin was strict. Father should be. Keep him from being influenced by the town's orcs. Orcs? Half orcs. Trained him right when Roderick started patrols. Jagrin asked me to keep him safe. And I did, as my pride as patrol sergeant. I watched over him at first and slowly got to be his own defender. Roderick grew well, became his embodiment of Trinell's strength. Roderick was very forthright, took care of things quickly. He was strong-willed and charismatic. He worked hard and became a good man. His father may have started his son down a path, but Roderick needled his own way through. You got it! You know him well, are you? Hector. Cliff. Traveling scholars interested in Trinell's history. Yes, you're the nerds, right? The book, talking about the town. Research? You did research? How'd it go? We're learning a lot. Trinell is a beautiful place. Sure is, a little oasis in hell, surrounded by little green demons. They're not allowed to live here. I should have exiled them centuries ago. Banned any hanky pink of the locals. They're the ones marking up the place, I'm sure of it. Marking? Graffiti. Impossible to scrub off. Haven't made a progress. Cross swords aren't a bad symbol, but spraying them all over the place and without permission. Can you believe it? Even the pavilion had one, left of the stage. I think I remember something like that. Didn't seem to fit in. All sorts can get up to mischief. This newer generation of kids are getting clever and dastardly. Put him in a patrol shift, I'll shape him up and speak to Jagrin about it. Jagrin must have a lot of trust in you. Of course he does. We're all friends from childhood. I'm a friend of the family. I am practically half raised as kids. Roderick, Curse, Belira. Ugh, what a bad egg. Some nasty shit in Jagrin's nest bigger. Not to scuff Marie's memory. Is what wrong to have her turn out like that? What happened? She didn't belong here. That was clearly she was a little girl. Always playing with the orc kids, getting into trouble. It was better off that peddler guy and rising a Haver's rebellion. Rebellion? Not one of Jagrin's blood. What I said, because someone who's rich babies with the daughters out there somewhere. She's always going on about the half-orcs, the principals, and even dated one of them. Like Roderick, but he cut it off. Roderick did what? Ditched that harlot Brynja did. Heard she was crying all day at work. Those dresses are ruined. Serves her right trying to get a closet him. He freed himself, and then he freed himself. So you're like an uncle to them. My honor and duty. Jagrin doesn't trust me. We were defenders. We saw the evils outside to get the kids safe. Lyra was a foul girl without a word. Run off with a half-orc she barely knew. 2 days he was here and ran off. Had a chance of man, but no, went with a roaming beast. Kids can be truly short-sighted. I don't get it. What they did to her. What did they do to her? She was just 6. They breached and caught some dumb kids out of the shelters. But Lyra never listened, and she got a good lesson. Tried but had her in one swing, but missed and slashed her across the face. Left a scar from cheek to cheek, across the nose like this. Now tell me, how you bet one of those? A scar? Yeah, I should have dodged or something. Yeah, she forgot. Perhaps she didn't consider it that memorable. By her, and by that I mean orc, standards, such a scar is quite tame. Too plain to even talk about. Not like Roderick, the grand catch he was. Rhaenyra was clearly heartbroken, but she'll get over it. Emma midnight meets, Patrick gloating, fights with Jagger in That's so perfect. Can't join it now. So much I wanted to see him accomplish. Tell about the finer things in life. The church is open. Just drop in. I can't. I managed. Miss Tiari eased my nausea. In the morning, you can see him. I should. I shall. So, you've been talking. I'd love to grant you an interview. Learn how things truly are up here. I can get Chagrin deciding. Oh, we're not ready for the real stars. The patrol sergeant and the patrol leader have better things to do. Hell, I shall live here. Ride your tail and settle down. Roderick had a good eye for people, you know. Is there even a house available? I thought the last was taken. Or half. Orc and its cousins. They don't even work. Let's sit there, lazy bums, all of them. But you two are hard workers. Let's get you some hope knives and you settled in. Sarah's right around the corner. She's one of them. But Agnes has good eyes. Diamond the Mudflats, if you believe it. I can hear the clamor. We'll grave them too. Hector the Heroic. Cliff the Swift. To the table. Let him sleep it off. I wasn't expecting this. He stopped drinking years ago, was sobered up after the last successful raid. But losing Roderick, it's like he lost a son. The half-orc hatred even reaches the patrol sergeant. Not a good sign. Omast only gets like that when he's drinking. Usually he keeps the ideas to himself. Most defenders realize the difference between greenskins out there and those in here. Well, some in here don't belong. What do you mean? We just came from speaking to a half-orc woman in her home. The one purchased by the cloaked man. She and her family are up to no good. She said they were out, but we easily spotted them hiding around the house. The cloaked man is an alchemist, though, of that we're sure. And that means he's almost certainly involved in this. Pretty good. Oh, you find something amiss. For a first try, I'd give you 85 out of 100. Splendid! I am happy to hear I bested you. Hold on now. I can make it at a perfect 100. Well, I followed your instructions to the letter, and added my own twist. Having improved on your recipe and only scoring an 85, clearly you showed me something of lower quality, and certainly less imperfection. The only reason you do that is if you messed up. Is this a challenge? No, just a fact. So, how was the cloaked man involved? He's an alchemist, which means he can make poisons. We found a half-eaten biscuit in Roderick's room. Tiari detected poison in it, and Cliff worked his own hand at alchemy. It was a sleeping agent. Roderick was drugged that night, hence no struggle. I best keep him from going too nuts in there. We'll continue this there. We learned that although the knife about his neck was a de facto murder weapon. So, Roderick was poisoned. A murder. And using his own knife. No. Not his knife. Yes. Why would someone plant a hope knife, not a dagger? To have the townsfolk lose resolve. This was a targeted attack on Trunau itself. I have a bad feeling. I've never been so nervous before. outside of an attack. My concoction will clear that right up. If you can make it better than you ever have, it'll be the best you've ever tasted. So you did hold back before. Lesson 1 in Cliff's cooking class. Start easy, get good, take the next step. You should be happy I'm showing you the next stage so early. I'm an honor student. You don't need to hold back with me. Heard anything of the cook woman? From what Omast just said, we know who she is now. It would explain her makeup. Makeup? Cliff. Yes, she had some, stuff on her face to cover a scar. We spoke to her back during the ceremony and I noticed. The exact scar Malira had. That can't be. It would fit. She told us about the evils of the grass, too. That the half-orcs are mistreated. This and having the same scar, it's gotta be Malira Graf. She returned for some reason with her husband, the peddler alchemist, and has a home in town. This is too much. You have to tell Cast. Would he believe us? No, we need a bit more proof. And tomorrow we shall have it. We're going to follow a guy who's been helping them. He may be innocent, but I doubt it at this point. At the very least, get a bodyguard. We can handle ourselves, plus we're not going to start a fight. We just need to verify some things. It'll be okay. Open up. How? How can you make something this... I have felt out what would please you most, while gazing into your eyes. So, once you follow this guy, you'll be done? Not quite. We'll still need to check on bringing Kelva. She'll be our next stop. And Omast brought up a Sarah, the one who makes the hope knives, I presume. We may learn something there. Sarah Morninghog is a good woman, but tight-lipped. You'll have to actually try. So you're saying we've succeeded so far in natural talent? Is that what you call being lazy? So people just open up to us on the site. Perhaps I should take this to the markets and talk of the women. We do have some free women, and they do love to talk and talk and talk to little boys. They can tell you all about their husbands who died 40 years ago. So, they're available. Huh, like you would go for them. And no, they wouldn't be interested in you. I wasn't talking about the humans. Dwarves, gnomes are still quite young at 60 or 70. You say they're lonely? I never said that. But they love to talk up a storm, a clear sign they're being neglected. Well, I am quite studious. I'm a natural-born talker, so I'll think I'll be off. Oh, no, you're not. Test is gone. Odd, he's usually asleep for a few hours. Maybe the year's sober strengthened him a bit. That's not usually how it works. And it's not a big deal, he'll just stagger around outside. This wasn't uncommon years ago. It'll just look terrible for the defenders that he's doing this during daytime. If it's normal, then fine. For now, though, we should finish up our interviews. Cliff. Yeah, let's get to that. Sorry. I need to deal with Cliff.